Hey everybody, I just wanted to make this video to update everybody on how I'm doing in my health and in my journey these last several months since my last video recording, which was back in April. If you all don't know, I was diagnosed back in June of 2019 with stage 4 gastric cancer, and since the diagnosis I have been undergoing chemotherapy treatments. And I've been doing quite well, actually, in spite of the side effects, the awful side effects of chemotherapy. There's really no other explanation that I can give you as far as how well I'm doing in my health and in my life, other than God's kindness and mercy on my life. After praying and doing a lot of internal searching and speaking to my family about it, I've decided to step out in a greater level of faith and trust. I have decided to extend the amount of time between chemotherapy treatments and eventually hope to wean off completely from chemotherapy. Medically, I realize that there's a risk, but I also know that I can't continue on this path. It comes with a great level of risk to my physical and mental and emotional health as well. The toll that each treatment takes on my mental and emotional health is extreme, and long-term chemo is just not a sustainable plan for me. And so therefore I have decided to eventually wean myself off and walk toward more a natural protocol in my life. So I've not given up. I am definitely not giving up. I am just trusting the direction that I feel led to go in hand with the Lord. And I have implemented quite a few changes in my life, changes in my diet, and have researched a more natural protocol, as I said, and I'm going to go that direction. And I'm at complete peace about it, and I feel good, I feel great. It's amazing that if you would look at me, that you would really never know that I have had 27 chemotherapy treatments. So certainly God's grace has been is upon my life. This past year has been quite a journey, more than physical, but an inner discovery of my soul. As I've been walking this journey out of inner healing with the Lord, it's been a season of revealing, uncovering, and exposing deep things in me. There's been a real work of alignment and purification taking place in me. And I truly believe that internal healing must take place even while physical healing is manifesting. And I think they just go hand in hand. I don't think that you can have one without the other. You know, one of my favorite Psalms in Psalm 103 says that He forgives our iniquities and heals our diseases. And so the internal work and the outward manifestation, again, they go together. So I've been stripped of everything that I have found identity in and security in. When everything around you seems to be failing you, even when you are doing all the right things and things still continue to fail you, it's when you can turn to Him and find His constant love. His love is constant, His love is unchanging, and His love is faithful. And it's in that place that I have come to living living a life with no options, because He is my only option, and I don't have any other option. He's my option. So He's been revealing areas in me, in the very core of my being, the very core of my belly, where there has been dis-ease, a lack of peace and a lack of His presence. I've been learning to welcome Him into this chaos, this quiet chaos in my being, where I have built walls of protection, as well as filling it with other sources of security and safety and peace. Proverbs 23 says to pay attention to the welfare of your innermost being, for from there flows the wellspring of life. And that's what's been happening in me. The innermost being of me is being worked on and being healed as I welcome his presence in, as I welcome him into those deep places of my heart, the places that he reveals. And there's a wellspring of life that's taking place in me. Many of my insecurities have come from a place where I have not known the Father as my protector. And he's the one that provides the security and the place of safety. So anxiousness and fear and insecurity, they can become just a commonplace in our lives and become even just normal expressions or reactions of circumstances in our life. And there's never been a time in our lives where fear and anxiety are trying to consume our every thought and every being. Right now in these days and these times that we're living in. And trust me, I have gone through the gamut of every form of fear, and I have been on an emotional roller coaster for the past year. It's been a daily, moment by moment walk of faith. And I constantly have a barrage of thoughts that run through my head and constantly have to redirect my thoughts towards God's presence and his word. And so praying and speaking out his word and worshiping and crying and releasing my life into his hands has been a daily practice in my life. I've made a conscious decision each day as to how I'm going to respond. Some days I do well and some days I don't, and I give in to the fearful thoughts. Psalm 91 has been a real saving and safety, a place of safety for me. It's become my 911, so to speak. Psalm 139, verse 23 and 24 says, "Let every anxious thought lead me back to your ways." And so every time there is an anxious thought or the thoughts of what if, which are so common right now in my life, the what if and the fear, and it just causes me to just pause and just welcome him into that place. And it has caused me to really grow in great trust in him. And at the same time, I've never felt stronger and more alive than I feel right now. It's really ironic. The more I die, the more I live. I've never felt more alive and in tune to God's presence than I do right now. And our spiritual journey involves losing our lives and constantly dying to ourselves in order that he would increase in us, and trust in him to bring life out of what feels like death. I've placed my heart on his altar. His word in Psalm 51:16 says that the source of pleasure is not in my performance or the sacrifices that I might offer to him. All he desires is our heart, where we come to a place of full surrender. We sing these songs that says, "I surrender all," or "I surrender my heart," and we really don't know what that means until we're faced with a decision or in a place where literally you do surrender all to him. And so acknowledging his goodness and his kindness, that's where trust grows, really. The pride that has been attached for my need to control is being removed one layer at a time. And I know firsthand that there can be fruitfulness in a time of suffering. This painful experience has deepened my desire for more of him And he's all I have, and he's all I want, really. There are no other options. And I hate the reason why this deeper intimacy is being birthed in me. But I am loving and embracing the process and the outcome. The Lord is interested in the process, not necessarily the outcome. He enjoys the process with us. And we get so consumed with the outcome. And I can't control the outcome, but I can relinquish it to Him and just take this journey one day at a time. That's what it's all about. And I think most of us will face a time when a crisis is just thrust into our lives without warning or survival instructions. And it may even change everything that we've ever believed about God. But some tragedies, they don't make any sense. And some might even be too big for our hearts to hold. The pain might be too big for our hearts to hold. But every situation comes with an invitation to experience more of Him, experience His nature and His constant love. It's an opportunity to welcome Him into that place right at that moment. And it's really a beautiful thing. Proverbs 4:21-22 says to fill your thoughts with my words until they penetrate deep into your spirit. And then as you unwrap my words, they will impart true life and radiant health into the very core of your being. That's where I am today. I'm pressing into His word. I'm allowing it to impart life into me. I'm intertwining my heart with His. And out of that, a beautiful thing is being birthed in me. And I'm in a good place. I'm in a good place right now. My family's doing well. I'm doing exceptionally well. And I'm going to continue to trust Him. His word has the final say in my life. I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but I have a feeling that He's got a really good plan. And so my prayer is that you all too would experience the power of a surrendered life. There has been no greater time that I have lived in where there's so much going on in our world. The chaos and the uncertainties of today is a great invitation. It's an invitation to invite Him into those places and invite Him into the uncertainties and to see Him really reveal Himself in you and reveal Himself to those around you and see His work being done on the earth as it is in heaven. What a great opportunity we have right now to live in these times and see what He has for us and see who He is and allow Him to reveal Himself. So that's all I have. Thank you guys for continuing to pray for me and support my family, to everyone that has supported us in prayer and thoughts and cards and finances and meals. We really, really appreciate it. And we thank you. So that's it. Love you guys. And continue to stay in touch. Thanks.